Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 as the Zunbil Shadam. In the last episode we completed our war over here to take this county from our northern neighbours. We're still holding on to it ourselves since we have the domain limit for it, and we may want to grant it to our claimant that we have, whose claim we are still waiting to press for this duchy up here. We can't press it right now because we have just had been declared upon by the very character we were about to declare our own war on, and I think we're actually going to try to push this defensive war to 100%, which is definitely easily doable, I think. The only question is whether it's really worth it, and I think it is. Since we can probably siege these holdings back pretty quickly, which will regain us a good chunk of war score, and then we'll be getting ticking war score in our favor as soon as he doesn't control this whole duchy as well. And we'll get almost 300 gold from him, which is quite significant. 284. In fact, it's going up. I guess his income is increasing. We may have to fight his troops again, but that's fine by me. We'll be able to weaken him for the subsequent war that we're about to declare on him as soon as this is over. Our nephew Laxaguardian, our quick nephew, we won't get any opinion bonus from assigning him an educator, but we can try to get him, let's see, some kind of good education so that we can perhaps use him in our council or something. I'd like to get him Midas touched, maybe, if that's possible. So we're up to 61% now. I guess we'll take this holding back. And assault this one even. And I suppose we may as well. Gets us to 68%, we'll go fight him. And then we can probably just disband our troops and allow the ticking war score to carry us to 100%. We will diplomatically refuse giving our brother a fief of his own. We are going to catch him here. It is hills, but that shouldn't be an issue. Even captured somebody in battle. We'll follow one more time, I think. And we lost our steward, apparently. We'll appoint this guy. We have a problem with title loss on succession. I guess our succession somehow became Gavelkind. Well, we definitely want to change that back to Ultimogeniture. We're going to have to reign for at least 10 years before that happens. Let's see. We inherited the title in 850, so it's going to be 860 before we can do that. Well, we should be alright. As long as we remember to do that. Okay, 81%, I think we can just go ahead and disband. He probably won't be able to get an army together and siege down the entire duchy before we get to 100. Meanwhile, we can just sit here and actually make money for however long this takes. Or we could declare another war in the meantime, maybe. Though I'm not sure we would have time to finish it. This guy down here is pretty weak, we know. He only has the one ally over in Basra. These Mazdaki, former rebels who have taken over here, actually have 3,000 troops still raised, which is kind of unfortunate. It makes them a little tricky to conquer. Now we'll probably just stay at peace and actually make some money for a while. Still not willing to accept that, and I don't think he will until we're at 100. Proof that this chief has been slandering me, we'll probably just keep it to ourselves. Taid up here is involved in another war. He is just about losing, and he's very weak at the moment. Makes me kind of inclined to go and create the duchy title, or usurp it rather. Actually, I guess we can't usurp it since he's at war. But we have a truce with him right now, but our vassal duke, if we were to create one, would not, and he might even be strong enough to press some de jure claims over there by himself. We could gain some land indirectly. My brother asked me for a fief of his own. We will diplomatically refuse him also. And you provided me with proof that this other chief has been slandering me. Well, again, we'll just keep it to ourselves. We don't have any factions. Okay, so he is sieging this back. He might just be able to do this before this ticks all the way up to 100, which would be annoying. We sent a preacher from Rajputana, which we will just go ahead and ransom. In fact, we'll ransom... are we getting ticking war score for this guy? We're not ticking war score, but war score. We are not. Okay, we can just go ahead and ransom him. And also this guy. So we may have to raise just enough troops to go and chase his army out of that county. Oh dear. We annoyed the mayor. My daughter is of legal age. She became a Grey Eminence. Okay. We could marry her to one of these Tengri chiefs for a pretty minor alliance. Probably not really necessary, though. We'll just leave her be for the moment. And we've been sent another preacher who will, of course, immediately get ransomed. Okay. Is that really the quickest way? Somehow I think this is quicker. We may actually take the top holding there. Perhaps should have responded a little sooner. We'll see though, maybe not. My other nephew requires educating. Sure. Let my brother do it. And we lost our Grand Vizier. So we can appoint this guy who inexplicably wants to be the Marshal, even though he's terrible. We'll not have him do anything for the moment. We'll wait until we're out of this war and we'll be able to see what our actual vassal opinions are. At the moment we have the substantial bonus because we're defending against infidels plus 75, which means everybody loves us. So we're not actually going to catch him in here, but that is... Oh, we did catch him. Okay. Well, that's okay too. Anyway, we can enforce our demands. We can get 300 gold. We're going to get 200 piety, 100 prestige, and plus 3 moral authority for 20 years, which is nice. But it's not going to ultimately help us, I think, in our goal of reforming our religion. We're actually up to 30% right now, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, to click this button and actually reform our faith, we're going to need 50% moral authority and 3 of the holy sites. We do border 1, and we'll be able to conquer it sometime soon, which will get us another 10% up to 40. But the additional percentages we're going to have to get mostly from successful county conquests or building temples is another way we can do it, and each of those is only 1%, so it might be difficult for us to get to 50. We might have to put off reforming the faith until we can get our 4th holy site, which is over here in Baghdad. The 5th one is here in Cairo and is probably well beyond our reach for a long time. Anyway, we'll see once we have the 3rd one under our control what the best way to do that is. For the moment, though, we should be able to go ahead and declare our claim war on this duchy on behalf of our courtier here. We, of course, need to grant him some land before we do that. And we have to choose whether we would like to grant him the county up here, which would mean he'd have 1 extra county far removed from his duchy, which would be kind of annoying, but I guess not the worst thing that ever happened. Or we can grant him 1 of the counties in our capital duchy. Actually, not this one, it would be 1 of these 4. Which also would be annoying, it would reduce our personal levy. However, we would be able to, sometime in the future, plot to revoke it from him. Though we can't actually do it right now because we're content, and that removes our ability to choose those plots. And I think I'll probably just give him this county. It's is going to be a little bit messy, but I guess we can maybe fix this later. If he was to give this county away to a vassal, we could then create the duchy title over here, grant the duchy title to the new count of this county, and that would get it out from under our future duke, whose claim we are about to press. Which is kind of a long and involved way of saying that maybe we'll be able to fix it, it'll be fine. Even if we don't fix it, it's really just messy, it's not really a huge detriment to us. But anyway, we'll grant him the title of Tus. And now we can press his claim and he should remain our vassal. I'm assuming this guy is not going to be any kind of a problem since we have wiped out his army. He has no army of himself. He is allied with the Maharaja of Kosala here, but we did of course wipe out his army as well not too long ago. I think we can fight him without too much trouble. So let's go ahead and press our claim. Or rather, our vassal's claim, I suppose. And we'll have everybody meet up over here, I think. We're headed into Bori. Oh, we fulfilled the ambition to become a paragon of virtue, I guess thanks to the piety we gained from that defensive war. Oh, and he actually arrived already. Well, we may lose this first minor skirmish. Not really a big deal, we'll just disband this. And he did indeed call in his ally. Not too scared about that. We also have quite a large amount of gold on hand now, which I will just keep for the moment, just to make sure that we can actually win this war. Probably won't need to hire any mercenaries or anything, and then once the war is over, I might just spend it on maybe building a castle in our capital or something. We do need to get our son educated. This is not our youngest son, so not likely to be our heir once we switch back to ultimogeniture. But I think maybe I'll educate him myself anyway, just in case. He's also Tengri, which is something else that we would like to fix. Ooh, and we now have a faction. Yes, we no longer have the plus 75 for defending against infidels with all of our vassals, so People may start to join factions at this point. We should have some honorary titles to give out. Unfortunately, apparently female rulers are not eligible for many of them. So actually, I'll probably just give her some money, since we have so much of it. That should get rid of this faction. Hopefully we can get rid of any additional factions with honorary titles. Ooh, and it looks like the Abbasids took a county off of our neighbors here. Okay, our wound has healed, leaving us scarred for extra monthly prestige because scars are cool. And we lost our diviner. So let's go ahead and appoint you. We can actually go and see what our vassal opinions look like and use our vizier appropriately. The Chief of Birjand here is our most powerful vassal and is not especially happy with me, so we should probably go ahead and try to improve his opinion. Okay, and with our army of almost 8,000 troops, we can go ahead and start sieging our target duchy. At least once we make the long journey over there, we can. Get more levy reinforcements. And just to check again, it is going to be 860 before we can change our succession law. So presumably this war will be over by then. And we have another faction. We need to appoint a new spy master. And in fact we have a very good one available. And in fact that improved her opinion too, which is great. Send her off to visit the Basileus. Okay, not quite enough men here to assault this, but that's fine. Probably wouldn't really want to anyway. This guy claims that this Sun Guardian is attempting to promote vile heresies. I don't know, he looks like a faithful Zunist to me. I'll just keep it to myself. Ooh, and we've become ill. Fortunately did not happen while we were also wounded. I think I might just switch to a health promoting focus. Just to make sure we don't die at an inopportune time here. That would be a little inconvenient. I don't think it would end our war or anything, but rather not have to deal with a succession so soon after the last one. Especially since we would have this whole Gavelkind issue and lose a bunch of titles to our various children. And we're not ill. Okay. Our wife has sent us a gift. It is a small puppy, but of the finest pedigree and destined to grow into a great hunting dog. We will, of course, accept our gracious gift. It is an extra diplomacy and an additional +1 health. We'll name him Hunter. There's our first siege. And our second siege. Not much in the way of defenses in this city, apparently. No sign of any further armies from Karkota, or indeed from his ally. Guessing maybe he's busy elsewhere? No, he's not involved in any other wars. And he actually has almost 5,000 troops. So, we should be a little wary of that. Oh, and speaking of which, here he is right now. So most of this army is actually from Karkota Kingdom. Means he must have hired some kind of holy order or something. Well, we don't like that. He is trying to attack us in the mountains, and it looks like... Well, he's actually not trying to attack us, he's just trying to get into this county. But this is mountains, and it is a major river crossing, so if we just stay here for now... Yeah, that should dissuade him from coming. Well, that's actually quite a sizable army, and I'm not really too comfortable about fighting this, so we might have to actually go ahead and hire some mercenaries with our large treasury. I kind of hate to do, but at least we do have the money spare and didn't spend it all before the war. Okay, well, it's going to have to wait for the next episode anyway, because we are out of time here, so thanks for watching, and join me again then.